Hey, Bonnie, you have a really great question here about experimental procedures. Let's walk through it, understand it, so that when you see it, you can answer it just like that. Know what's wrong right away. Extraction blanks are essential within metabolomics experiments. Which of the following statements are incorrect? Well, what's an extraction blank? When you're doing an experiment, you'll oftentimes want to see if there's anything wrong, right? Because it would suck if you went through this whole big long experiment and then your buddy who reads your paper tells you, oh, yeah, there was this huge mistake here that totally makes all your data invalid. You can't have that happening, especially with how expensive some studies can be. That's a lot of potential loss. So, one easy way to check is you use a blank. And a blank is something that you designate to go through the same procedures, and it won't have any of the properties you're testing for. So, for example, if I was testing the protein content of meat, I could use distilled water as a blank because distilled water doesn't have any protein content. It's something that's designed to be a zero so that if there's anything wrong with your experimental procedure, it will tell you right away. So, let's go through these answer choices. The extraction blanks are treated the same as the samples and undergo the same extraction procedure. Absolutely, that's true. They need to be, otherwise you're not really testing your procedure, you're testing this other new thing that's unrelated, which isn't super helpful. B. The extraction blanks are used to identify artifacts such as plastic or solvent contamination. Exactly. That's a classic example of what you would be testing a blank for. Contamination. If your blank comes back as anything other than zero, that's a sign you have contamination that you need to reevaluate your experimental procedures. Perfect case example of when to use a blank. D. The extraction blanks are used to normalize background levels across all samples. Yeah, no, that's correct. It's like a way to check that the machine is working correctly that you're using. For example, if I want to check how much light a certain substance reflects, well, some of the light is going to get reflected no matter what. And that doesn't really have to do with the substance I'm testing. So you just put in some water, some clear substance, and you just check how much gets reflected off of that, and then subtract that from your substance of interest. That way you're studying what you want to be studying, you're getting the accurate numbers, and you don't have to worry about all the background stuff that's going to be there no matter what. It's just a really easy way to get rid of that. C. The extraction blanks are depleted samples where the metabolite content has been extracted. No. No, 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 no. No, you can't use that as a blank. Like I said, the blank is designed to be a zero. It's not supposed to be anything. So a depleted sample, well, A, if you don't do a good job of depleting it, that's already going to be not zero, which is bad. But even, let's say you deplete it exactly perfectly, which is impossible, that's not really a good test. A, it would be much easier to just use water. A lot of the times, a good blank, water. But yeah, you're not going to be able to deplete it perfectly. It's going to still have metabolite content. It's not going to be a very good blank. So yeah, don't use your depleted samples as blanks. That's the one that's incorrect. That's the one that should set off alarm bells in your head. All right. Hope that clears things up for you.